Hey people, Intro here, 53 Faction War. This is Fend Unlock and Chaos Space Marines versus Orks. For the blue Chaos fellas, superDEPRESSEdSanya is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and destructive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Got some Black Legion alongside. DLED as a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero, walking through objects cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption. Fighting in melee, got the Word Bearers DLC here. Rounding off the blue Chaos fellas, where's he gone to? There he is, Raziel 47 as a Plague Champion, starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, debilitates enemies and supports allies, can also repair your stuff. What was he shooting at there? It was SchmusCriminal and his Mekboy. A teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat with a bunch of orky gadgets, puts out some good damage to this fella. And we got the Freebooters DLC, looks like here. Alongside, and quite angry, is MakeEldarsGreatAgain as a Warboss, a melee hero, looking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Is this the Goths elite scheme here? And rounding off the teams, I can't select him, he must be in a garrison somewhere, is AP BuCkLuvy as a Kommando knob, an infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins with a twin link shooter. He must be in here, shooting that twin link shooter of his. Center of the map here, we have a contested victory point, which is red for the Orks at the moment, and they are pushing on through, getting a whole bunch of Daka on some heretics. The Warboss is persuaded to leave. Shooter boys now backing off. Natural victory points in the north for blue team and the west for the red team, but the Chaos fellas are taking it. And in the southeast corner there's a whole bunch of resource points to grab, including the natural power points. Warboss indeed does run away. Big shooters already up for the shooter boys of BuCkLuvy, and there's double shooters all the way down for all the Ork fellas. Double CSM for Raziel. Some Tzeentchian worship. Doom bolts. A decent hit on the sluggers. Heretics ready to come out of worship there to get some melee action going on, and these guys do have their aspiring champion up already. He's got a chainsword and a bolt pistol, pretty good in melee, and makes the other heretic stronger with more health. Kommando snuck through to decap blue team's natural. Blue team are also taking mid, but they're not going to get a triple cap because of this. Blue team looking to touch the power here. This is the southern natural power for the red team. Mekboy in defense, he's quite low on hit points though, and they've pushed through onto here, the Chaos fellas. This is all Sanya. Doom bolts flies in. Sluggers against double heretics. Sluggers with burners, almost wiping them. Some other sluggers get onto the CSM. Sanya gets out. I think pretty okay. Just lost a few heretics here and there. And here we see DLED to pick up some of the slack. Chaos Lord running on through. Does get retreated though. Can they take down the War banner? They cannot. They do frustrate the Warboss with some grenade barrages though. Double grenade launcher heretics for DLED. That's very quick. CSM making a mistake getting in the garrison there. The sluggers were burning them out pretty quickly. But they don't drop a model. That's alright. Now, was it worth DLED pushing up there on the front foot? If he backed off, maybe he could have withstood the assault a bit better and saved the VP here. Oh, there's still heretics in play. There's a barrage. That should stop the cap. Indeed it does. Barely got them far enough away, I think. Warboss getting in their face with a bang bang hammer. 75 melee DPS, and it buffs nearby units when he hits an attack. Radius 28, 5% damage increase and a 0.15 speed increase for 10 seconds, so you can stack that up. Did you just kick that heretic to death? I mean, fair enough. Meanwhile, blue team getting a natural VP back. Noise Marines on the field for Sanya. And some more CSM for DLED. Already getting tied up. Okay, Warboss leaves, but he created a huge amount of space for the mid. But look at this. Raziel's straight on it. Messing up some sluggers. Stick bombs chucked in. That's a good throw. Nasty throw there from the Kommando knob. Huge amount of Daka coming in too. Good little push from Raziel. That stick bombs completely changed that fight. And that's what you want to do with your hero. Get them war gear that can influence the fights in the largest possible way. Especially in a 3v3, where it's all about those pitched battles and you're not really sneaking around capping as much as you would be in a 1v1. You're not kind of solo capping with your hero as much. So it's all about those team fights and those big engagements. Grenade barrages, mostly dodge there actually. Sluggers getting a bit close. A bunch of bolter fire. Eternal War up on the double CSM, giving them 20% more damage. No sign of a combi flamer yet. All of his power's gone into grenade launchers and Eternal War and stuff. Speaking of Eternal War, also doubled up for Raziel. Chaos Lord, you okay there, bud? Looks like he's alright. Shoot the boys run. Still some in play though. Mid is red for the Orks. There's some looters up here. Need to turn around, fellas. SchmusCriminal has to run them off. Those guys are repairing the war banner. Meanwhile, Heretics getting through. Almost wiping those sluggers out. These are Sanyas. Messing up the Kommando, but they are persuaded to leave. They both have aspiring champions now, but no Eternal War on the CSM. Sorcerer ran off. He's alright. You got any war gear? No war gear there. We do have the Mucus Discharge for the Plague Champion, giving the Breath of Nurgle heal. Bang Bang Hammer and Boss Pole. Commando's now got better combat kit, and the Mekboy is down. Plague Champion maybe shot him to death, but he's idle now, that Plague Champion. These guys are capping mid. And some power bashing. They have got on the power quite well, the Chaos fellas. Much better than the Orc guys so far. Tier 2 for SchmusCriminal, the first player to go. Sanya with double noise marines. I wonder if that was intended or if it was a mistake from Overwatch stuff. You guys going to reinforce? There you are. Plague Champion has now moved. He's in there somewhere. There's some Nurgle worship. Noise Marines shaking apart the War Banner with their Sonic Blaster. Very good against light buildings such as generators and War Banners and turrets and stuff. Well, most turrets anyway. And they can shut down ranged weapons such as all of that Daka. Grenade barrages being used quite well so far. Here comes that Chaos Lord. Does not go after the Sluggers. Kommando almost goes down. Sluggers are dealt with anyway. Those Heretics got almost wiped down to 15 hit points just on the aspiring champion there. There's some more Nurgle worship. Chaos Lord goes down. The Breath of Nurgle didn't quite come soon enough, and he's going to get revived. Levels the Plague Champion to 3. Doesn't mind that. Warboss level 2. Looks for the stomp. Gets it. And then runs. There's only a node here at the moment, but they could try and rotate towards this gen. Oh, never mind. Double Noise Marines are here to power bash. That's a very quick power bash. 427 to 424 on the VPs. Orcs are pinned back here. Center is turning blue for the Chaos fellas. Doom bolts. Decent hits in there. Stun bomb. Tried to stun the Noise Marines. They mostly dodged it though. And yeah, very quick and effective power bash from the double Noise Marines. Finished off by some CSM, I think. And they're pushing through the Chaos fellas. Double melee Heretics looking for a fight. Found it with some shooter boys. Looters trying to do what they can with a death gun, and there's the weird boy, and he can do a lot of work here for SchmusCriminal. Sub-commander for Orks, very good at dealing with clumps and groups of enemy infantry, can also support quite well too. And has the Warp Head for the Foot of Gork, a devastating ability, which we may see in a big clump of Chaos fellas soon. Mekboy's still down. Any chance of a revive? Not anytime soon. Maybe the Kommando could sneak over, but he's got his hands full against the Sorcerer stuff. CSM able to get into the... Oh, the Sluggers ran. Not sure why the Sluggers ran. Maybe that was a mistake. They had a fair amount of hit points there. Oh, the Sorcerer did go down. 427 to 392 on the VP's heal buff, says Raziel. We're talking about the Breath of Nurgle. Use your choppers on the Sluggers there. Global ability of the Warboss gives them more melee damage and more melee skill, which makes them very dangerous, and it lasts like 20 seconds. It's pretty damn good. There's a Breath of Nurgle to heal the Plague Champion. Maybe he'll go for the Garrison. They do have burners though. Marco Zinch, Chaos Space Marines. Powerful anti-infantry mark. Gives them Inferno Bolts. 1-to-1 cap here. Can they get straight back onto the mid? Oh, there's Foot of Gork. That's going to be a big hit. Tried to escape it using Corn Worship there. Didn't want to retreat them, but they took a fair chunk of damage there. And there's a zap thrown in too. That zap will jump between squads. Looks like it's jumped to the heretics there. Good old Warp Vomit. Down goes the Chaos Lord too. 427 to 325. Did some... I think an aspiring champion heretic died in there from Deled. Double Noise Marines in play again. Doing some decent work, eh? Going to get mobbed by sluggers though, and there's a bunch of Darker too. So they are off, but he's putting some really good pressure down this side. Heretics don't want to risk the cap there. Some more heretics in play. They will also run, apparently. Could have just backed off, I think. Where's the Sorcerer? Still down. Tricky spot to revive from. Mekboy's back to his feet. Not sure who grabbed him. It looks like the Warboss grabbed him. Who now gets spiky armor. Very good against all those heretic fellas. And look at this. A Da Boy's Hut. Don't get to see it very often. Passively buffs nearby Orks. And there's some Gretchens on the field, of course. 424 to 372. Gretchens don't have an upgrade yet. We do have 2 weird boys, and there's about to be 3 of them. Can they get some vehicles up, or are they looking for tier 3? Sanya goes tier 3. Maybe a Chaos Predator, hey, would do some work. Foot of Gork. Nicely timed to try and hit the Plague Champion. Wasn't enough to finish him, though. Here comes a Chaos Lord, and he's got Armor of the Inferno. Warboss is kicking some heretics again, and now crushing them with his hammer. Some fire goes in. Don't think it hit that well. 1-to-1 cap. Another Foot of Gork. What is the cooldown on that? I guess it was another weird boy, eh? Yeah, probably another weird boy. Sluggers coming in for a flank. The CSM are feeling brave. They could have backed up to the shrine, maybe, because that shrine will suppress infantry. See these guys getting suppressed now. 424 to 372. Another Foot of Gork. Doesn't quite finish off the shrine. Good chunk of damage. You can do it at really good range, eh? Level 4 Warboss runs away. Chaos Lord goes for the weird boy, and he's getting some claws up. 50 power weapon this is. Very expensive. But you get 100 DPS power melee. Terrifying anti-infantry damage. Plague Champion, though, has got a Plague Fist. Heavy melee damage. But he's very slow, so it is quite difficult for him to smack vehicles with it. Well played again from the Sorcerer. Sanya sending some CSM to grab that VP. So they have the 2-to-1. And we got double Blastmaster Noise Marine fellas now. That hits the Mekboy off. Sluggers are here, though. They get suppressed by the shrine. Those guys should be repairing the shrine, I think, surely. Something needs to come and help and attack these sluggers. These guys also need to move. We're just going to retreat them, I guess. 424 to 356. Orks are taking back their natural, and for now, they're holding the mid. Sluggers are still harassing. Weird boys in here now. Good basic attack, and there is a Chaos Predator for Sanya. Can they threaten this weird boy enough to get him to leave? There's the Chaos Lord. Level 2 now has Icon of Corn, healing on hit, and because the Lightning Claws attack very quickly, some good synergy there. Kills a slugger. Now wants to fight a Warboss, maybe, does he? Oh, wants to shoot some fire. Some decent hits. Scares off some stick bombers. Now goes after the Warboss. He'll easily shrug off the spiky armor damage, I think. How's this tank doing? It's the Mark of Nurgle tank. Making it very beefy and tough with some health regen and melee resistance. Kommando, you okay there, bud? Level 4 with a special shooter and Orky shotgun. 392 to 356. Deled and Raziel looking a little bit depleted. Only 3 squads on the field. But they do have a tank now. And they have some pretty beefy heroes, the Chaos fellas. Big old melee guys. Chaos Lord just tried the destructive strike there. I think that's what it's called. Yes. Weird that the destructive strike is only power is only piercing. Should be power melee or something, I think. Ouch. Plague Champion got too close to a death gun. Looks like he survived it though. Maybe 2 hit points. Yeah, we survived it. 375 to 356. Some more war banners up. They're trying to take down Da Boy's hut. We'll get there eventually. Those Gretchens are trying to repair it. VPs are very even. Sanya's been harassing that wreck point for the whole game. Doesn't look like he's going to get onto the VP again though. But the Chaos fellas have the mid. And this Predator's doing some good work keeping things at bay. But we do have the beamy death gun for the Mekboy here now. That will threaten vehicles quite nicely. And the boys hut has survived for now. Chaos Lord, you need some levels, buddy. You're level 2 at the moment. Plague Champion's level 4. Armor of Pestilence, Mucus Discharge, and Plague Fist. Very tough, very slow, and hits pretty hard. Another Chaos Pred for Sanya, Tier 3 for Diled, and Raziel, the Great Unclean One. More Tier 3s from the Orks as well on the way. Last Master, setting up a Chaos Lord push on the Weird Boy, almost took him out. The Mekboy comes in to help save him with a custom force field. Chaos Lord now needs to run, I think. Orks from the flank. Lots of Daka and Orky shotguns. That's a good shot though, isn't it? That Nurgle Stink autocannon doing some good work there. Heretics trying to get in. And there's a foot of Gork. Decent hit on that tank, that was a lot of damage. Orcs swarming the mid. Looks like they're going to grab it. Down goes the Plague Champion. Lots of bang bang hammer buffs here. Not sure what these heretics are doing. That was like half a second of damage and they almost died. Raziel down to heretics and CSM now. We're going to see another Markov Nurgle tank. 375 to 327 on the VPs. Great Unclean One is hitting the field. The Orcs are swarming though, big time. And there's some tank busters in there too, to threaten the tanks. You know, by busting them. Warboss, wow, level 7. Thought about getting a Power Claw to help with these vehicles, I guess, but they are melee resistance vehicles, so maybe he's just thinking tank busters and stuff. Yeah, there's looters on the way. They'll get a beamy death gun, maybe. Here's the Great Unclean One. Super unit for Chaos. Big old Greater Demon you can worship. Powerful in melee. Passively damages nearby enemies and has some nasty active abilities too. Chaos Lord revives the Plague Champion. That's good for his XP. Halfway through level 3 now. Plague Champion stays in play, heals himself. Might need some Nurgle worship to get a bit closer. Maybe another shrine up. Great Unclean One goes waddling through. Mekboy's in trouble. Mekboy goes down. Chaos Lord takes him out. Great Unclean One with over 6,000 super heavy infantry armor hit points can shrug off this Darker quite well. Might be time to replace these shooter boys. Is that what these guys are doing? Are they being fed into the Chaos Meat Grinder to be replaced? No, they're running away. Okay. Great Unclean One some vomiting. Chaos Lord is going to get the kill on the Weird Boy. That's a good kill. There's still 2 of them though. Lots of Orcs running away. Big impact so far from the Great Unclean One and Diled with a Land Raider Phobos on the way. I was hoping we'd see double Great Unclean One, but I'll take a Land Raider for giggles. Down goes the War Banner. The Boys Hut is down. There's another War Banner here though. 338 to 315 on the VPs. Got rocks, says SchmusCriminal. Also suggesting you get AV, I get flash kits. And indeed, here are flash kits on the way to get blasters to try and deal with this Great Unclean One, I think. Plague Champion, almost level 5. Chaos Lord did really well there. Almost got level 4. And these tanks are doing some good work, eh? For Sanya, they're so tough. Getting some repairs. And he continues to harass this side, Sanya, with heretics capping, constantly decapping that wreck point. Sorcerer himself, though, still down. They need this guy up. He could do some great anti-infantry stuff with warping and chains of torment, subjugation. 338 to 287 on the VPs. Stun bombs into a tank buster barrage. Into a rocks. Is that a good place for it? Didn't seem like it hit that much stuff. Trying to catch things on this like narrow bridge. Of course, there is an Imperial Abyss. Again, doesn't seem to hit too much stuff. Some stuff ran through it, but it didn't survive. 338, 267. Chaos Space Marines with a 2-to-1 cap and a VP lead. And there's the Warboss running off. Gonna be alright, I think. What was he up to? I don't know. He's level 7 though. Can do what he wants. Great. And Team 1 harassing the Weird Boy. If Sanya... Oh, Sanya can only teleport it back to here though. Can they revive that guy finally? Chaos Lord maybe having a look at it. Oh, but there's some sluggers. Can he get a kill a week? Maybe when the sluggers surround him he can. No, he runs off. No revives for you, Mr. Sorcerer. Heretics decapping the wreck point, the VP though. This wreck point's being full on stolen. Look at the map, looking very blue so far. Nob Squad on the way for Make Eldars Great Again. Shmooze does have those flash kits, no upgrades though. There's a double cap now, innit? Who needs a sorcerer, I guess? His army is doing some great work without him. And here's the Land Raider Phobos, as you may have spotted, with las cannons on the side sponsons and stuff. Another Blast Masters there too. And maybe another one from Biled, maybe a third. Another tank from Sanya. Many, many tank. Is it going to be another Mark one? Creating a whole bunch of Nurgle crud on the ground here. Taking some damage from tank busters. Having to move. And there's the third tank from Sanya. And it is indeed getting the mark of Nurgle. That one might go down though. That one needs to move very, very quickly. It does go down. One tank is dealt with, but there's now two more again to go after. Meanwhile, Plague Champion falls. Nob Squad on the field for Make Eldars Great Again. Can they turn a corner now? Nob Squad can go toe-to-toe with anything in the game and break it apart. And they're going to have Warboss support here, who has a Power Claw. Boss pole's already up, and he can throw user choppers and Ard Boys. Rocks in there. Good push. Gonna see a Dirge Caster here, are we? There it is. Nice Nurgle Vomit as well. Great and King one might go in. There's a foul snare. Oh, that was on the Mekboy. Another little bit of vomit. Tanks coming in to clean up the back lines. Great and Clean One is now fighting Nobs. Meanwhile, the Warboss, level 8, is tearing apart some poor little noise brain fellas. But there's wait, what? That looked like Drain Life, but I guess it wasn't, because he's still got Armor of the Inferno active. Okay, I am confused. Maybe he just got knocked into the air or something. 338 to 135, 2-1 for the Chaos fellas. Rocket launcher commandos having a go at the tanks. One of them got pretty low, eh? Had to back off there. Sorcerer still down, level 6 Plague Champion. Can you get to him? It's a lot of stuff here though, eh? Midpoint being taken by Orks there. Also over here. They haven't made a run at this VP very often though. Maybe BuCkLuvy can do a bit more of that with his sneaky commando. He has decapped it a few times, I think. Chaos Lord just staring at them. Taking a bunch of Daka. Here comes a shrine. It's going to be a Nurgle shrine. That can reinforce allies if you worship it. And there's a Khorne shrine back there too, spawning bloodletters. 338 to 99 on the VPs. Can the Chaos fellas hold on? Some cheeky decapping. Yeah, they didn't throw away their shooter boys, did they, to get some population? Maybe they should have. Lower their upkeep as well. Here's a push. Level 8 Warboss leading the line with a Nob Squad in there. Plague Champion meets them. What's the Chaos Lord doing? Nothing yet. Here comes Let the Galaxy Burn. And a little Nurgle Vomit. Decent hits in there. Plague Champion's getting very low, has to run. Foot of Gork in the back. Chaos Lord now in there. What's he going to go after? The Nob Squad looks like. Big cloud of flies. Great Unclean doing awesome work. And an Abyss chucked in the back line by the Sorcerer. That's from Sanya. Good hits in there too. Really good hits. Is that GG? Nice one, says Raziel. Pretty awesome nuke. That was a really good fight for the Chaos fellas. Chaos Lord still standing, almost level 6. The Plague Champion did really well, initially meeting that Nob Squad as well. There's a Nurgle Shrine in base. Huh. I go heal my Great Unclean One, says Raziel. Needs to march him back to base to get that percentage base healing. Sneaky Heretics again. Looking for the decap. Can they tough it out? They can. There's a double now for Chaos. 338 to 38. 300 VPs in it. Can the Orks mount a hell of a comeback here? It's going to be very, very difficult. Very difficult. Havoc's on the way for Sanya. Back up to 3 tanks, by the way. Havoc's are a really good shout in the mid. Are there any Noise Marines left? Yeah, there's a couple of Noise Marines still up. Getting some Blastmaster stuff. There's a Rocks. And a Foot of Gork. And another Rocks. Many, many Rocks. Down goes the Garrison. Oh, there's the end of the game. They got the VPs they needed. And I'm unable to bring up the UI again because of the scripts that I use to do this stuff. It doesn't work at the end of the game, unfortunately. So I can't show you these heroes, but I'm sure they were all glorious. Was the Sorcerer still down? He was. They did like 3/4 of the game, it feels like, or 2/3 of the game with 2 heroes, and he did bloody well. Awesome use of the tanks. The Great Unclean One did amazing work. And the 2 melee heroes here, the Chaos Lord and the Plague Champion, were fantastic. And they just couldn't really get going in their tier 3, the Orc fellas. Lots of power harassment, I'm sure, was part of it. But there you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Big thanks to these players for playing a faction war. I believe SchmusCriminal sending this in on the losing side this time, but we appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.